Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be episode 2 of the miniature painting with me here, Blake. I don't think any of the other moles are going to be ever doing this kind of thing, but yeah. So this is, like I said, episode 2. I'm lowering the amount of people, the amount of minis that I show down to 5. I did 6 in the first one, and I feel like it went on for like a couple minutes too long. But this way, I can like not have to rush through anybody, because I don't want the videos to always be like 30 minutes long. I kind of want them to be more in like the 20-minute range. But we'll see. Maybe I'll add more guys, because I have a lot of goddamn minis I want to show off. But enough of that. We'll move on to just talking about the dudes. So I brought this guy here because he's actually one of my first miniatures I ever painted. Way back in the day when I first was getting into Warhammer, painting minis, I bought a set of the Space Wolves, mostly because they have this cool little dog head, which I think is really freaking rad. So yeah, this is one of the first ones I ever painted. I do have a name for him. I think this is the name I gave him. I didn't write it down when I first gave him all the names. I don't know if any of you ever played that game Heroescape, where you like play a bunch of different warriors and enemies and champions throughout the whole like universe, and then you battle on like a map that you build. I named all these characters because then me and my partner played with these painted figures in Heroescape. So I gave them like names and like stats and shit. And I'm pretty sure this is the guy, because I mean, she fucking kind of looks like him. His name is, yeah, I mean, I haven't written down. I don't know how you would pronounce that. Karskald, the Blizzard. Because look at him. Because yeah, I think this is him. I don't know who else would. Oh, sorry, Animalistic Crusader of the Freezing Gate. That would be this guy, right? Like, check that out. And there was like another name I thought it could have been, but I'm pretty sure it's him. I did some blood, because hold on, I did some blood on his little hammer there, because I was like, check that shit out. But yeah, like I said, this is one of the first ones I ever painted. I was getting really like new to the whole thing, as you can tell. Like the paint on the shoulders are a little thick, but I think I did a pretty good job for one of my earlier dudes. Like I got all the details and everything. Put a little blood here on his like really cool cloak. This is still one of my favorite minis I've ever painted to this day, because I think I did the paint job really cool, but also he's got really cool stuff. This isn't supposed to be on his gauntlet, but I was like, I'm gonna put it there because I think it looks real neat. And here we'll get some real close-ups. And if you're wondering why he's fuzzy, it's because I used to leave my miniatures out. Oh my god, look at that giant thing of fuzz on him. I used to leave my miniatures out to the wilderness, like in the open air, so they would get dusty over time. And I'm really bad at dusting things. But you can see some of the blue obviously got on his armor. But you don't notice that unless you're this freaking close to it. Why does he have blue? Didn't even realize he has like blue right here. What? What is all that? Why is there so much? Why is there so much blue all over him? I never even noticed that. Like, look at like in his backpack. Either way, it's something that looks really cool. Because then it kind of makes me feel like maybe kind of slap that paint on. But yeah, this is like I said, one of my very first dudes. I'm pretty sure this is like a lot of the paints that I got in the like practice kit. You know, like in Warhammer you can buy like a practice kit of like 4 Space Marines that are pre-built, and they come with like some paints. So I think a lot of this blue comes from that. This metallic comes from that. I think the only color I purchased was this gray, which I'm pretty sure is like Storm Vermin Gray or whatever, or Sturm. I don't remember the name. I've got some blood here on his like cool little chain sword. But yeah, so this is the first guy. I think he looks really freaking rad. And like I said, one of my first paint jobs. Obviously there's a lot of mistakes on him, but I think he's like a very, very solid looking badass. Cause like he's got this cool sword, he's got this really cool hammer. Also the hammers in Warhammer are just so fucking rad. Cause like look at this. Like see, it's got like these 2 wolf heads. One of them is open, and that's like the big masher. Bam, bam, bam. Man, it's crazy looking at miniatures like this. I probably could have like, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and touch this guy up a little bit, but I think I might just leave him as is. Did a little bit of a metallic dry brushing. Got the red in his eyes. I don't know. I'm really proud of this little guy. Again, especially being like one of the first ones I've ever done. I don't think like there's any major problems with him, except if you look at him super close up. And then in fact that he got dusty. But yeah, that's him. Jar's called the Blizzard. Animalistic Crusader of the Freezing Gate. And look, I gave him like a move and a range and attack and defense. I'm a fucking nerd. But that's how you know I'm a nerd. Because I was like, I want to play this guy in Hero Escape. And then when I played it with my partner, she picked him. And I was like, honey, that's mine. And then I kicked her ass. That's not true. I don't think either one of us won that. But, guys, just so freaking cool looking. And again, like this part here, I really like to like, since I don't give a shit about Warhammer, the game, I like to like take stuff. Because I'm pretty sure this is like a belt. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to go right here. But I put it on his leg because that way he has like a cool, I don't know, I just think it looks really rad. But, yeah, that's him. I think, fuck, man, I love looking at them this close because I've never, ever seen them this close up. Like, I've never been able to get that, I mean, look at that. Oh, they just look so cool. I need to buy, like, a file of just these wolf heads because I think they're really cool and the kit that I bought only came with 2 of them and has some bullshit. Alright, we'll move on to the next guy. You can kind of see a motherfucker peeking right here. Fucker. This is the next guy. I actually painted this guy recently. Using some speed paints, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all this blue is like a recent like speed paint that we bought. Like a war paint speed paint or whatever. And then this green stuff is the like emerald gem kind of stuff you get, so little paints. But this is like an orc boy. He's supposed to be like yellow, but I don't give a shit. But then I took his shield and I flipped it upside down. I mean, just look how cool that is. Look at that. Look at that. Because I like the idea, like, so he's clearly like frost and snow themed. So I pictured him being like a winter orc. And then he finds out in the wilderness these like emerald gems that they carve and they cut into like their weapons and strong metals for like their shields and shit. You might be wondering, well, then why isn't his armor that color? And I say, well, you can go to hell. Oh, cool, you can see his bicep vein. It's pretty buff. That's what I look like. Not true. Please don't assume that that was me being like, I'm so buff. I'm not. But I think he really came out really cool, and he's very cohesive. I obviously only use like 4 colors on him because, I don't know, I think blue orcs aren't used a lot. They're always like green, so I think blue orcs are really cool. And I like the idea that this guy would like maybe like these 2 dudes would like fight, right? Like this guy would be like a snow frost tribe of orcs, and then these are like the space marines that show up to like come do like the winter shit. And then and then they fight and it's like bam bam. But yeah, let me get the name for this guy because they all have names. If you didn't think that, you'd be fucking dumb. Also, I'm cheating now because in my first video I didn't have a good point of reference of like where should I put them so that way they're like in focus. I say that and I think he's slightly out of focus. But I'm trying to keep them right here in between this gnome girl and this, he fucking looks like a human. Some human dork. But if I keep him right here, oh, that's a cool mini. Here, I'll move him just a little bit closer. All right, what's his name? His name came from Fantasy Name Generator, and I used WoW, because I like WoW orc names. I don't really care for orc names in Warhammer. I like when they're like kind of longer names. I couldn't find Fantasy Name Generator orc names. Or, sorry, I couldn't find names on the Fantasy Name Generator that kind of matched the vibe I was looking for, like, you know, like a name and then like a name kind of like... So his name, like basically I want a name that's like 2 words, like Blade Hunter or Blade Spirit or Fire Puncher, like that kind of name. So his name is Grunza Frost Hunt. I mean, obviously, because again, like he's a snow-themed icicle cold emerald, cold skin, this blue metallic armor. So obviously he's, he's a frost guy. He's like, winter themed dude. But yeah, Grunza Frosthunt, and that is from WoW. That is a World of Warcraft name. But I think he came out really cool. It's a little bit of metallic here. Let me get really close. Yeah, make sure to get like these little like parts on his like belt loops, and then here, and then right here, it's a different type of metal. And then it's got little butt buttons. Looking at his cheeks, double cheeked up. I think you can see like it's got some metal in there as well. I didn't do his eyes because I kind of like the idea of like you would look at him and like not actually see, like he would like have like almost like a dead personality. But I like their mask in this. It makes me think of the Uruk-hai in World of Warcraft. I'm not World of Warcraft, in Lord of the Rings a lot, because they have like those really cool like metal masks. But no, I really like how this guy came out, and I really loved how this green on all his like on his weapons and his shield came out. I think that looks really freaking cool. Look at that. Here, maybe I can get like a cool. I'll bring the focus. Look at that. It's like slimy, but it's like a cool chunk of emerald, like cool emerald rock, and then they make like their tusks out of it too. I think he's really like, if this dude popped out of like the snow going like a Tusken Raider, or like, I don't know how orcs are supposed to sound in Warhammer, but like, I don't know, this dude would be really freaking sick and pretty scary, and like you would think like they're part of like the snow because they have like this camouflage of like the blue and the whites and like this gray blue, which I think is actually Space Wolf gray. I think that's what that color is. And then the color of his skin, I think is called like Caribbean or something, but that's like a war paint. I'll be better at like actually like tracking what paints I use. That way I have like a better way to like inform you guys, like, hey, if you want this freaking color, go buy this. Because my partner's really good at mixing paints. I kind of just go with paints how they is. But that's like the problem, because then I end up buying a whole bunch of freaking paints. But like contrast paints and speed paints and like all that stuff, motherfucker, work really well, because as you can see here in his armor, they fill in dark spots along, they hit highlights really good, so they kind of like save you a shit ton of time. But then they also, I don't know, he looks like a really solid character. And I don't know, I know speed paints and contrast paints kind of like, oh, you're cutting out the process. Shut up. Shut up. If they save you time and you like using them, who gives a flying fuck. All right, get out of here, Grunza, motherfucker. All right, next guy from this. He's the brother of Grunza. I hit the lens. Oh, that's embarrassing. Hold on. He's Grunza's cousin, actually, from the same set, obviously. But this is another orc boy. Really cool golden. This is called Aztec Gold. It's a I think it's war paint or speed paint. I can't remember exactly the brand, but it comes out. It's like this greenish kind of gold. It's a really interesting color. Like, look at that. Like, yeah, it's like a greenish gold. It's really cool. It's the same thing I did for like his spear. And like I said in my previous video, when I make characters like these, I try to think of like, if they're using the material for one thing, they would probably use it for other stuff. And you can see it's two of his tusks, but then his other tusks are another type of metal. It's his mask, I'm pretty sure. His little pig mask, I think, is that Aztec. But it's like the same thing as Grunza Frosthunt is like, they find a certain type of metal or material, and then orcs are like, that's the greatest fucking thing ever. So they use it on everything else. And he's hot pink, as you can tell. I mean, you can see he's all pink. So my plan with him was to kind of give him like a toxic look. I want him to be like a barrel of toxic, like in like toxic waste, like in like all the 80s horror movies when you see like that big yellow barrel of it, it's like toxic waste, and then falls over. It's like, ah! And then it makes like zombie movies and shit. So I want him to be basically a radiated orc who has made his armor out of these toxic waste barrels, and then he has like found this other metal material that's also radiated to be like his shield and his weapon and his tusk. And then he's got all this like fuck, I want to say it's war paint, but they have power node colors. So he's pink, but then as you can see, there's pools of like this like radiation. Like looking at him on camera, he looks like kind of glowy and neon-y, which is really cool because that's what I wanted. I want him to just be like, he looks like he would be giving off radiation, right? Like he'll show up and you're like, oh shit, like should probably stay away from him because he's probably going to set off like a Geiger counter. But let's go ahead and get his name. I think that's in focus. What's his name? His name was kind of hard to find because they don't use like the word toxic or like chemical or anything like that in like stuff like names. But I gave his name. It's Beck Graverest. Because I kind of get like the idea of like toxic zombies. I think toxic zombies are great, which is why Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite movies ever. I love when zombies come from a vat of toxic goo. So his name is Graverest because I kind of wanted to go with the whole toxic goo zombie theme. And maybe he's even killing zombies. Maybe he's like a zombie killer. Or perhaps he is a zombie himself. Like, who knows? Like, that's the cool thing about... What is this part? What is that? Was I supposed to cut that part? Yeah, whatever though. But he's like, he's kind of like a mishmash man made of mash. So he probably just, meshed all this metal shit together. Because I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like he ripped shit apart, took the metal, and just strapped it to himself. So he's kind of like he's almost like a boss you would see like in a Resident Evil game or like Killing Floor. Like, because again, he's supposed to be like this big radiated super. Oh, like a Fallout. He's like a Fallout super mutant. That's what he is. Because he finds all these toxic barrels and he rips them apart and he makes like scrap armor out of them. And then he finds these other metal materials that are also radiated. So he's just constantly radiated super mutant. And he's like, I'm Fox. Like, Fox from Fallout. I think it's New Vegas or Fallout 3. I can't remember. Let's get a close up on his face. So let's get a close-up on his face. There we go. And you can see there's a bunch of goo. There's goo in his mask because God, he looks so cool on camera because he's so, like, glowy. What the hell? The light is really doing wonders for this miniature because he's so vibrant pink. But he's like... It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. I'm touching the wrong knob. That's what I'm doing. Never had that problem before. Yuck. But yeah, so this is Beck Grave Rest. You'll see his name at the end when he's spinning. Do I want the light that high? It kind of like fixed itself out, but I want the light to be as much so that way you can see all the colors. I can't remember the name of this yellow. But I think he looks really cool. I really like this guy. I really like this paint job. All right, moving on to the next guy. Again, one of my favorite paint jobs because I actually get really happy with my paint jobs overall. This dude very much makes me think of Davy Jones, as you can tell, because the giant crab claw barnacles. But he's like a fish man. Clearly, he used to be like a pirate of some sort, and then he's got this really gnarly squid just like lash onto his back, and like look at all his barnacles and like his like sea. He's got this cool anchor. I'm a sucker for anchors. He's got this like really gnarly looking blade. He's got these cool fins. Again, he's all painted. So one of my paint tips is what I do is I'll cover the character in I'll bring the focus right there. What I do is I paint the character all black, and then I dry brush white to hit all the highlighted areas, and then I just contrast over it. That's how you get these really nice dark spots, but then you also get like nice highlighted parts here. So yeah, I want him to be like a pirate kind of guy, obviously because of Davy Jones, but also Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3 are some of the best movies made in my personal opinion. I want to give him some cool fins. His face doesn't really matter. I like to think that maybe his face melted off. But look at this cool like squid eye. The squid part is so cool. Like, I'm pretty sure I got this mini from Etsy because I ordered him special, but then I also ordered like a pack of like random 15 miniatures. But I had to get this guy special because just look how fucking cool he is. Look at his cool like his clothes, and he's got like this rope tied to him too. And he's got this big fucking anchor. There's like a squid tentacle. And these cool little like what do you call underwater mushrooms? Other types of barnacles. But look at the eye. Look at the little squid eye peeking at you. All right, let's put him down for a second. We gotta name him, right? What do I want him to be? He can be right there. His name, I think his name's actually kind of cool because it's not like super badass sounding, but his name is Dempster Vossel, or Vossler. That's from Fantasy Name Generator. But so he's a pirate, right? So I did a pirate fantasy name generating name. So his name is Dempster Vossler, but his nickname on the ship is Tide Turner. Because one, Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, but also Tide Turner because he's now become a fish. So, and he's turned into a fish, so therefore he's like turned into the tide, right? So I think that's kind of cool, and it's kind of like a double meaning kind of name. Like his name originally was probably just Dempster Vossler on the ship or whatever, and then once he started becoming, you know, part of Davy Jones' crew, he became Tide Turner. And it's like, oh, fuck, here he comes. God, he looks so freaking rad. And here, we'll do some close-ups. Here, let's do like some real close-ups on his bits. Because you gotta enjoy the bits. See? Look at the bits. It's pretty cool. He's got little buttons that were kind of a pain in the ass to paint. I'm going to bring the focus back up just a little bit. I don't need to be that close. There we go. And I really like the color of his pants. I think I did a cool color scheme. I think his colors are pretty cool. And then I gave him like this cool, like, kind of necrotic or like magical sword of the depths. Some cool barnacles. There's the squid again. And of course you see some fuzzies because I used to leave my minis out for the wilderness to take care of them. And then they would get dusty. I like the ropes. The ropes are really cool. The anchor's really cool. Like I said, this is hands down one of my favorite paint jobs just because I really love this model. It's one of my favorite models that I own. So this is hands down one of my favorite characters ever because this is just this is a very cool fucking character. Like if this came out as like a character in like a video game as like a boss or something, this would be probably one of the best boss fights in a video game for me to play. Like this, like if this was like in Darksiders or something, or like even Bloodborne or like an Elder, one of the like Soulborne games, like that would be really cool. Or just like even like a Devil May Cry type of thing. But you know, just like a character fantasy game, this guy comes out, it's like shit. That's a fucking cool ass boss. All right, get out of here, Chucky Finster, Dempster. Patrick Dempsey, more like it. Oh, whatever. All right, last guy coming up. This is really cool hippo guy I got. As you can see, I kind of did like a military. Same thing though. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I did black paint and I highlighted him, and then I went over with the contrast, and I think the red contrast on him looks absolutely fantastic. And then I think I went back and I highlighted the edges a little bit. But this is a cool little hippo guy. Here, we'll put him right here. Oh, I get his name. It took me a little hot minute to look up hippo names because I could have sworn there was a hippo race. Oh, motherfucker! I could have sworn there was hippos in D&D, but on Fantasy Name Generator I couldn't find any hippo names on Fantasy Name Generator for D&D hippos. So I had to like look it up in a different way. But his name is Valentino the Corporal. I mean, obviously, because look at me, he's military. Also, fuck you, anybody who's going to correct me, because I realized that... oh, Jesus! I realize he has stars, and I'm assuming you probably, if you're like a freaking nerd, you could probably tell me what rank he actually is in the military. But I went with Corporal, because Corporal sounds cool. And I went with Valentino, because Valentino sounds cool. I do things because it sounds cool. I paint hippos because they look cool. I paint him in purple because he's a purple hippo, because that's cool. I paint him red because red's my favorite color, and it's cool. And I give him this gold because it's cool, alright? Alright! I don't see you doing anything. Hold on, I want his finger to be... I'm doing the wrong fucking knob again. You sons of bitches. You sons of bitches, I don't see you. See, look at him. Look how cool he is. We'll do some cool close-ups. Sorry, I was freaking out. Oh, I made a mistake. As you can see, I put a little gold on his other belt. But yeah, I think contrast paints, I think they get a bad rap but I think they really help your character come together really easily, which I think is really nice, because again, it's just like you put one color here, you put a color here, you put a color there, and boom, it's done. Like, as long as you highlight it beforehand with like a dry brushing of something, you kind of take, I don't know, you kind of skip some steps, but I think it makes your characters just look real nice at the end. I don't know, I'm just a big fan of contrast paints and like the speed paints. And then, you know, it fills in like all the gaps and it hits highlights, and then you can go back and highlight stuff a little bit better if like whatever you want to draw attention to. I think I did really good on his booties, his little boots. I think I did dry brushing on them afterwards, so I kind of bring out the highlights again. But I think he just looks really cool. He's just this big old hippo guy. And also, I really like hippos. I think hippos are cool. I think maybe these two guys could be like hanging out, double trouble, you know what I mean? Like a hippo and a squid. He's like, hey, fucker, get out of here, I'm a corporal. I think his buttons came out really cool. I don't know, just there's a lot of detail in this model too. I can't remember exactly where I got this model. I think I got this guy and this guy at the same place. I can't remember. I'll be better about that later for other videos. I'll make sure to like post links to like the people that I get these miniatures from, because most of them are from Etsy. And that shit's dope. If you're gonna help an Etsy artist, I highly recommend it, because there are some great miniature files out there on Etsy. I think he looks really cool. I think again, I'm not gonna toot my own horn here, but I think a lot of the characters I paint are just very like, bam, that's a character. Bam, that's a character. Like, I could see this dude clearly like in something. I know that has nothing to do with like really my paint job. That's more of like the character himself. But if the paint job sucks, I feel like the character would look kind of wonky. Like if you made these characters not match, and you know things weren't, you know, color coordinated, or you know, like, you know, there's color theory, right? And I think the color theory on this guy is pretty good. At least I don't know, my opinion. I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about anything. All right. It's not like you know anything either. I'm just saying, there's like, you know, the purple, the red, the browns, like all that stuff. Like, it all kind of goes together, and you could really make conflicting characters if you don't know color theory, or know how like certain colors work better with other colors. Like if I had made his slash like a different color, like that might be conflicting to like his skin tone. If I made his eyes a different color, that might not look right with his skin tone. If I made his jacket not match the pants, if the pants were red too, then he would look like a big old British soldier with one of those hats on his head, and he's like, I can't move. And I don't know what's up with me. I'm having an attitude, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's because my car's in the mechanic shop. But yeah, so we'll move on from that. But these are the guys for this episode. All 5 of these motherfuckers. If I had to pick one, my favorite, I think I gotta go with my squid. But I think they're all really cool in their own little ways. I don't know. I love painting miniatures. I love bringing out like little details, and I love now getting them in front of this camera, because it's like I've never seen that blank face that close. But man, look at that. But I've never seen the squid eye that close. You know, like I've never. This is my first time having one of these cool lenses that's like, yo, dude, we can be so close together. And look how cool this squid is. Squids are so cool. I just love this guy. This guy's my favorite. Don't tell the other ones. Don't tell my other minis. But yeah, so yeah, that's this video. I'm gonna roll the footage of them spinning around and shit, so that way you can see some more of the details and all that stuff. Also, in the description below, if anyone's been curious about what this is that I use as like a mat or like a background, it's my DM. It's to let the players not look at the DM. It's my DM screen. There we go. Jesus. It's my DM screen that I use because it's cool, because it's fantasy. God damn it. I specifically moved the camera so you wouldn't be able to see my desk. But if you look over here where my finger is, up here in this corner, that's my desk. I specifically... You son of a bitch. I should have known better. But yeah, this is my DM screen. I'll put a link for that in the description. I got it off of Amazon, but it's whatever. It's really cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to that footage of them spinning around like assholes.